Good evening, everyone. I hope I'm visible and audible to all of you. May I get a quick confirmation over the YouTube chat box? Am I visible and audible to you? Yes. Just a quick confirmation over the YouTube chat box. Hello, hello, mic check. That's great. Okay. So, welcome you all to Advanced Audit and Assurance Orientation for March 2026. And I hope you know that you have chosen AAA for a reason. So, your reason to choose this exam should be very clear. Okay. Then only you can enter into this challenge, because if you are unsure about it and you're entering into its preparation phase, it might get a little tough for you. You might feel like giving up or having a substitute or not committing to that paper. So we will talk about audit, and it will be a very, like a general session where I'm going to talk about this subject, where I'm going to talk about its format, where I'm going to give you a planner that how you can, complete these areas by this date, and then we can expect us to complete our syllabus by this date, and then we will start the practice, which is for past papers. So we have to understand that what should be our strategy. More or less, you guys are someone who have studied maybe in the course, or you have watched my SBR videos as well, because that's my mainstream subject. Now, coming to AAA, that's an extension of SBR. SBR is the source knowledge of AAA. So for that, I need to understand, like you will not go by the word that ma'am said it is an extension of SBR and you agree with it. No, you need to understand the logic behind it, that how come AAA can be an extension of SBR. So what do you mean by audit? What is audit? See, in a business setup, there is an entity in which you have invested your shares. Let's suppose you have shares of any company. So you are the shareholder. Shareholder means that you are the owner of that company, but that company is not run by you. Today, you might be having thousands and lakhs of shares, but you might not actually be going to that company and running that company. You might not be actually be there to see whether the controls are working fine, who are the employees, who are the directors. You might not be doing all of that, but still, you are actually owning that company. Legally, you are the shareholder of that company. Now, the point comes that if you are the owner, but you are not managing the company, will you not be having a distrust, or will you not be having some kind of doubt on the person who's running the company that you own? Just imagine a situation, you have a car or you have an apartment. Okay, you have an apartment, you've rented it to someone, you are the owner. But the person who's maintaining the apartment, the person who is living in the apartment, is someone else. So, will you not be worried all the time that this person might spoil my apartment, might do some bad things to the wall, might, steal something? You'll always be worried. So for that reason, you might keep CCTV cameras. You might keep a check with the security guard that when is the person coming, when he's going out. Are there any late night parties which are happening? What this person is doing, where he's located, like work wise, what does he do? So you take a lot of KYC, you take their documents, you check everything, that the person is a family person or a bachelor. So you see a lot of stuff before giving your apartment on rent to anyone, because you don't trust that person. That person is becoming an agent. The asset is yours, but that person is becoming the agent and is taking care of your asset. So he's becoming a steward. He's going to take care of your asset, but that asset actually belongs to you. You own that asset. So this, creates a feeling of distrust, which we call in professional words as agency theory, where I, as a principal, as the owner, do not trust the agent. And I am worried that this person can spoil my asset, can lie to me, can steal, can do fraud. Which is why I bring someone to keep an eye on this person, the agent, because I cannot be there at all times. Now, same thing happens in the business also. You are a shareholder, but the person who's taking care of the operations, who's taking care of the management, who's taking care of the direction and the control is someone else. The directors are different and shareholders are different. Now, shareholders, they don't trust these directors. And because they don't trust these directors, they appoint auditor. They're like, we don't trust whether what you are telling to us is true or not, what financial statements you're preparing are true or not. We don't trust you. Therefore, here is the auditor who will keep an eye on you. Whatever you tell us, the auditor will actually see, examine it, that whether that is true and fair or not. So basically, the company, it communicates to the shareholders by the way of financial statements, by the way of annual reports. So we keep someone, that someone is the auditor, who sees, examines, and makes sure that the financial statements and the annual reports are true and fair. So that is the need of auditor. So what we understand from right now, what we have discussed is that because there is agency theory, that's why there's a need of audit. And audit is a process through which the auditor examines the financial statements, whether they are true and fair or not. And therefore, the auditor, after checking and examining, is going to give an audit report where he will give his opinion that as per me, there are these mistakes or this financial statement is properly true and fair, and we agree to whatever management is saying. So they will give some kind of opinion, right? So you understand the reason why audit exists and what exactly audit is. Now, if I'm checking your mocks or if I'm checking your assignments, let's suppose. Now, can I check your assignments when I don't know that subject? If I don't know AAA, if I don't know SBR, can I check the paper for you? Of course not. So before I check any exam, I have to update my knowledge. I have to read the marking scheme. I have to do a lot of research on that paper. And then I will come to that level of expertise that I can give some kind of, conclusion to someone that this paper is good, bad, or excellent. So same way, the auditor, when he can give opinion on financial statements, only when he knows that how financial statements are prepared. If he would not know at all that what are financial statements, what are the rules to prepare financial statements, how in the world will he assess whether the financial statements are correct or not? How will he give his opinion that whether they're true and fair or not? So what is important for audit is that the auditor must know the rules under which he is going to examine the financial statements and how financial statements are made. And that's where do you learn how financial statements are made? What is the subject where you learn about financial statement preparation? Yes, SBR. That's basically your IFRS. So now you know that IFRS is coming as a base here, okay? And from that base, I'm developing my knowledge further and I am becoming an auditor. If I will not know SBR, if I will not know IFRS, I cannot become an auditor. So auditor is an extended, or audit is an extended version of SBR. So if you read any AAA paper, you would see that 40% of AAA can only be passed if you have good IFRS knowledge. That is the only reason why I have picked this paper to teach this, because I love IFRS and I love everything related to IFRS. So that's the sole reason I think that I'm a good person to teach AAA. Otherwise, AAA, if you just consider audit as a subject, that might not excite me so much. But the IFRS aspect of it, the extension of IFRS, which is there, because you love IFRS, and then they are tested in SBR in application form, but they are tested in a very new and a more advanced form in AAA. So same IFRS, but the application is at a whole new different level, where you're checking in real life scenario that whether the financial statements are correct or not. How can you check it? What are the evidences you can find? What are the procedures you can perform? What kind of opinion you're going to give? So that is all audit theory mixed with IFRS knowledge and its application. So in this paper, SBR plays a very important role, and that's what I'm going to teach you in the classes. If you are planning to enroll or if you're already enrolled, we are going to study IFRS, its related audit risk, its related audit procedure, its related evidence. So we'll move in a stepwise manner. So now let me just share my screen with you and just jot it down for you that what exactly do I mean by audit. So this is our AAA March 2026 orientation that we are here today. So what is audit? Audit is the process. Audit is the process through which the auditor examines the truth and fairness of the financial statements prepared by the management. Right? So audit, what is the objective of audit? The objective of audit is that we are supposed to, as auditors, we are supposed to give audit opinion. That whether we are supposed to give an reasonable assurance that whether the financial statements are true and fair or not. Now, what is the process involved in audit? See, how in real life you appoint an auditor. First of all, the auditor will give a tender. Okay, we'll put a tender that why various clients should choose that particular auditor. Then let's suppose the proposed tender is accepted. Now the auditor will see various things like, it will see various terms and conditions. It will look into various elements and situations like ethics, whether the auditor has the experience in the client's industry, whether the auditor has a good number of team members that it can manage the work of the client. So there will be a lot of things that the auditor will consider. And finally, they are going to sign an engagement letter. The client and the auditor will sign an engagement letter that yes, now we are going to go ahead with this audit engagement. Now, once the engagement letter is signed, now starts the process of audit. So the first step number one in the audit process is that the auditor actually understands the client. So you understand the client. There's a proper ISA on it, which we will study in the course of our studies. That is ISA 315, International Standard on Auditing, ISA. That how will the auditor understand the client? What are the aspects the auditor will take care of? Then after the auditor has understood the client, step number 2 shall be to assess the risks. So there will be risk assessment. Auditor is going to assess various risks of the client. The auditor is going to assess you can say the auditor is going to assess the business risk, the risk of material misstatement. That means, for example, the client is involved in hedging a lot of transactions in the money or the foreign exchange market, or maybe they are involved in a lot of trading. Okay, so maybe they're trading with Bitcoin. So we as an auditors, we will assess that this is the risky area of the financial statements because, of course, it is risky by its nature. It is inherently risky. So there will be a risk assessment, and then auditor will develop its response to the risk. So there will be responses developed to the risk. Response to the risk. That what will auditor do to assess this risk or to further see that there is no mistake in the financial statement because of this risk. Then the auditor is going to check, okay, once they have assessed the risk, they're going to perform procedures. Procedures means the actual work that the auditor does. They will go to the field. So for example, they think that this client has a lot of investment properties. So auditor feels that this is a risky area, that how can someone have so many properties? So now auditor will actually go and physically verify that those properties exist or not. That is a procedure, actual work. Then another thing that the auditor does is that once they have done a procedure, because in future there can be any case against the auditor that you have not done the work perfectly for the client. So auditor has to keep certain evidences. So auditor will collect evidence. So for example, the auditor has went to the physical verification. He has gone for physical verification of the property. Now, what evidence can be kept for that procedure? So auditor went for physical verification. How will auditor prove that I did go for the physical verification? The auditor will take pictures, photographic evidence of investment property. So that will, that will speak for itself that yes, auditor actually went and did the physical verification. So auditor collects the evidence of whatever procedures the auditor has done. Once the evidence is collected, once everything is done, then the auditor reviews that, if there was a misstatement or not. So there will be some review of his own work. Of course, there is a full team of auditors. So the work of every team member is reviewed. Then finally, you report. Finally, what we do is there is process of reporting, where the auditor makes an audit report and gives his opinion whether the financial statements are true and fair or not. So first you understand the client, you do the risk assessment, you develop responses to the risk, you conduct procedures like testing controls, etc. You collect evidence of whatever you've done, you review your work, and finally you frame an opinion and then you report it. Right? These are the overview of steps involved in the process of audit. There are more nitty-gritties that we communicate to TCWG. We, communicate the internal control deficiencies and stuff like that. There are a lot of such things involved, but overview of what is the process of audit is this. Now, for every step, we have a topic. For risk assessment, we have a topic. For procedures and evidence, we have a topic. For review and reporting, we have a topic. So that is a proper unit in our syllabus, right? So this is what audit is. So it is something which is developed further on SBR. Okay, so we use the knowledge of SBR and then we move forward towards the other steps, correct? Now, the next point is that what is format of our exam? See, AAA is very easy in syllabus, very easy syllabus. Like I give notes to my students. Now, those are the notes that even I have used when I was a student. Okay. So they're not written by me, but these are the notes that I found and felt that they are helpful. Some things that I make during the class that is attached along with the lecture, whatever I write on the Word file. So point is that the syllabus is very easy. Like if you go through the notes, if you go through the BPP exam kit, if you go through the study text, if you go through ACCA Study Hub, the syllabus is very easy. Then what is difficult? Why AAA's pass percentage is the least pass percentage of your whole ACCA journey? Why is it so? If the syllabus is so easy. Can you guess? What could be the reason that the pass percentage is so low? Yes? Any guesses? The basic reason is that people are unable to apply their knowledge because the paper is so huge. The paper is so lengthy. The paper is so practical that people, they are stuck with their knowledge only. They're not able to apply that knowledge. They know the syllabus. They know the theory. They can just utter out the theory as it is, but they are unable to apply it in a scenario. Even if they apply it, they take so much time that by the time they have done correct application, the question number one's time frame is over. So they run out of time. So the paper is lengthy, which gives us time constraints. That's the very important reason. And second is application is very difficult. That is why the least pass percentage in AAA. And also there is a reason that people, they do not get professional marks. Students miss on 20 professional marks. You have 20 freaking professional marks. And these 20 professional marks are given for your format of the paper, format of the exam. It's given for the paraphrasing, for the language that you have used, for the thinking that you have done. Have you done holistic thinking about the situation, or you have just written ground level information? All of that matters, right? So AAA's pass percentage is very less because people miss on these 20 professional marks, or they don't use professional language. How to get these 20 professional marks? I'm going to teach you in the course, and I'm going to tell you whenever I start with the practice. Right now, even if I tell you, you'll forget it. because that is better being told when we are doing the practice, when we are solving the questions. There are various aspects of professional marks, commercial acumen. We talk about, having some communication skill, evaluation skill, analysis skill, what each of them means, and how can we get marks out of it. That's what we learn in the application part of our course when we are doing practice. So, not everyone passes this paper in the first attempt. If you are someone who aims to pass this in the first attempt, I'm telling you bluntly, you might be the most intelligent person, you might be a front bencher, you might have got 95 plus in your whole career, and then you still can end up failing this paper. I'm giving you a disclaimer, a danger alert that you can still end up failing the paper. So choose this paper only if you're ready to pick up the challenge and you loved SBR. If you really liked SBR, then only pick up this paper, because this is a very application based question, application based paper, right? So, what is the format of the paper? We have three questions here: question one, question two, and question three. Question number one is simply for 50 marks. So, half of the paper is my question number one, where I generally get audit risk slash ROMM, risk of material misstatement. I get procedures question. I get the ethics question, like how the auditor is maintaining his ethics. And we can get some direct theory question. Generally, this is what we get in our half of the exam. So what is more important in our whole syllabus is this audit risk slash ROMM and procedures and evidence, right? These are the most important areas. Question number two, generally, this is for 25 marks, okay? And generally, from where do we get this question? We get requirements like matters to be considered. So we are tested on IFRS. We are supposed to make procedures out of it. We are supposed to make, evidence points out of it. This is what we get in question number two. Question number three, again for 25 marks. Generally, this comes overview. I'm not saying that it is short. Generally, usually, it comes from review and reporting and other assignments. Other assignments are assignments which an auditor might do apart from audit, like review of cash flow forecast, or something like due diligence, etc. So we will learn it in the course of time. So this is what our paper looks like. So the most important aspect, if you see, audit risk and IFRS are in question number one also and question number two also. So most important area of our syllabus, the heart and soul of our syllabus is audit risk, IFRS, procedures and evidence. That is the core of your whole syllabus. And that's what I, teach explicitly with the knowledge of IFRS. So even if you're not studying with me, okay, even if you're doing self-study, no problem. But do refer to my free videos of SPR, IFRS Grand Revisions. You go and check my IFRS Grand Revisions. You will see the comments of AAA people there. The people who are doing AAA with XYZ and they are still watching the Grand Revisions, because IFRS is so important for advanced audit and assurance, right? So that's the base. That's actually the base of our AAA. If you know the IFRS, there's just a small line that you have to draw in front of it and you will be done with AAA also. Okay, so this is what our format of exam looks like. I would like to show you a past paper of AAA. Let me see if that works. Okay. Yeah. Let's check out some past paper. How AAA actually looks like. So here we are. This is the Advanced Audit and Assurance past paper, a very exam standard question paper. So just have a look at it. This is question number one. Okay, 50 marks. You can see 40 marks for technical and 10 marks for professionalism. So what are the requirements for 50 marks? Let's check them out. Here in the partner's email, I will find the requirements. So what is the question asking? Okay. So we have received an email from our senior, very practical thing that this is what is happening in Big Fours and all the companies, corporate, that you get an email from your senior and they have asked you to do something. So first is using all exhibits, all exhibits. I have to read the whole question before I answer this question. Evaluate the significant business risks to be considered in the planning of the audit. Business risk, 8 marks. So 8 marks means even if for one risk I give myself 2 marks, I have to give at least 4 business risk after reading the whole question. Then using exhibit 1 and 3 only, 1 to 3 only, evaluate and prioritize. Evaluate means you have to think about it from all the angles and prioritize. So I have to tell that which one is more risky. Significant risk of material misstatement considered in the planning of group audit. Now, this is the risk question where I have to see that in the group financial statements, in the consolidated financial statement, what is the area of the financial statement which can be wrong, which can go wrong, which can have misstatement, mistakes, which are material. So that for that, I'll have to read the whole question, apply my judgment, see which standards are being used, which could have been incorrectly applied by the accountant. 12 marks for that. So 20 marks for risk. 20 marks for risk so far. Then the group was formed during the year with the parent company, Heart Company, acquiring its first subsidiary. Okay. Justify why the acquisition of Morton Company and the goodwill arising on acquisition are identified as significant risk of material misstatement. Can you get some kind of resemblance of this with SBR already? Where we are talking about there was an acquisition of the company, goodwill is arising, but they have just written in front of it that why it is significant risk. So actually you're keeping your IFRS knowledge as the base and then you're developing the point that maybe they have not applied the IFRS correctly, so the goodwill can be under or overstated. Again, this is a risk question. Then design principal audit procedures which could be included in the audit plan in relation to the goodwill arising on the acquisition of Morton Company. So we have to give procedures for that goodwill that we think is a risky account balance. This is again for 12 marks. So if I consider it as 6 plus 6, 26 marks from risk so far. 26% of the paper so far from risk. Then using exhibit 3, discuss the responsibilities in relation to the non-compliance with laws and regulation. Now that is a direct question about NOCLAR, which we study in our theory for 8 marks. So almost, if I just add all of this, 12 plus 12 plus 8, 32 marks are from risk and procedures. I already told you these are heart and core of your syllabus. 32 marks. Let's move on. Let's see what's there in question number 2. Okay. Requirement. They're saying discuss how materiality is a significant issue for assurance firms when performing engagements, providing on sustainable information. Now that one is related to a current issue. Okay, that one is related to a technical article. So we can just give it a thumbs up that this is something new. Then using information in Exhibit 1 and 2, discuss the quality and professional issues which might arise for Oak Company in accepting the engagement to perform the assurance. So now this one is again from a technical article, but the concept used here is about quality control and ethics. It's a mix of quality and ethics, which we also study in the course, of course, yes. Nothing out of syllabus. Then critique the information provided in the sustainability report by management of Firzoda, commenting on where the assurance team should apply professional skepticism. We learn about sustainability report. We do learn about professional skepticism. So it is a kind of a, new kind of a requirement, but this is again from the syllabus only. But this one does not have IFRS as such. This one does not have risk as such or procedure as such. So question number 2 is coming like a different, unique question, right? Now come to question number 3. Discuss the challenges associated with data analytics. Again, a theory question. Negatives of data analytics. Okay. Evaluate the quality management, ethical and professional issues raised by your review of audit and recommend appropriate action. So this one is related to ethics. Okay. Then critically appraise the extract from audit report. Now this one is related to audit report. So I have like 32% of the paper from risk and procedures. Then I have something which is coming from, review and reporting, ethics, professional skepticism, quality management, and then some technical articles as well, and direct theory questions. So the most important area, which is short, see what is asked in question number 2, in this paper it is asked, but it is not generally asked. So it is not always predictable that what will be there in question 2 and 3, but what will be there in question number 1, we all know. There will be audit risk, there will be procedure, short. So I have to get my grip over these areas. I have to master these areas because I know they will be there for sure. Right? So that's the format of the exam. Now, if you are someone who's already enrolled into the TG Professionals course or who are planning to enroll, let me give you the understanding. So if you have already studied SBR with me, you know how to enroll. But the ones who are coming here for the first time, this is how the website looks, tgprofs.com. You just go to the course, okay? And you actually just have to put in your address, okay? Sign in into the website, give your proper email, and apply this coupon code to get 10% off. And then you can just enroll. So here you have the class notes attached. Every session which is important, any attachment that is important apart from the notes, I've attached them. Okay, there are practice classes. There are some basic classes that I've given from AA that you might have, some people, they assume that you might be knowing this. If you have forgotten AA, or if you were exempted from AA, I've given you the classes for you to cover important areas from AA also. So it was like few years ago when I used to teach AA also. So I still had recordings of it. So those few classes I have added here. Then audit risk. Audit risk is the most important area, small theoretical areas you have here. I've given you some IFRS videos as well, IS 8, IS 34, IFRS 8, SME, IS 24, IFRS 11. Some things that is not there in the grand revisions of SBR. I've given you them, okay? Then audit evidence and procedures. In these videos of evidence and procedures, first, second, third, and fourth part, I have actually taken up one standard, important standard like IFRS 9, like group accounts, like revenue, like leases. I've explained the standard, I've written its related risk and procedures, and I've written its related evidence. Then group audit, same. Group audit 1, group audit 2. I've explained you group accounts and given you the related risk, procedure, and evidence. Then review engagements and other assignments, and then reporting part. Okay. And then you have kit question debrief section where we have covered a lot of questions from the exam kit already. Plus, we are going to meet, uh, you know, on the weekends for the classes. So how the course works? As soon as you enroll, you're going to get access to the course. It is an automatic process. You immediately get the access. Within 24 hours, the team adds you into a WhatsApp group. If somehow within 24 hours of your enrollment, you are not added due to any reason, you have to just put a WhatsApp message on this number. And the people who are not enrolled, okay, but they still want that they stay connected, they want to follow my planner, then please also WhatsApp on this number and you will be added into the AAA group. So just write, please add me into the AAA self-study group. In these self-study group, I'm going to take weekly updates from you. Okay. It's an updated group. If you're there in any previous group, I'm not going to be active on that. I can just be active on one group. Okay. So I am creating the most recent one because in those groups, there are people who have passed years ago also. So I'm going to be active with the fresh batch of students. Okay. So just put a message on WhatsApp and you will be added into that free self-help group where I'm going to put quizzes every weekend after you cover your syllabus as per the planner to hit the base of your concept. Then study notes are attached on portal as I told you. Every live class is happening on Sunday, Sunday 8 p.m. Okay, I'm going to share with you the schedule. But whenever the live class happens, and in case you miss the live class, you are going to get recording of it. Sure, short. Then in case of queries, whatever queries you might have related to the class, you can put a message into the WhatsApp group, okay? There will be a dedicated team to reply you. I will be there. The tutor assistant will be there, which gets back to you within few hours, okay? So there's a 24/7 support system on the WhatsApp group for your queries. Plus there are Sunday live classes. Of course, there you can ask your doubts. Now, in case you have enrollment queries, portal related queries, how can you reach out to me? You can reach out to my sales team on this number again. Okay. So if you are getting some troubles in enrollment or if you have further queries, you can reach out to them and they'll get back to you. Now, there are going to be 6 assignments that will be marked. There will be 2 mocks. One mock will be marked and one mock will be just debriefed. So 6 assignments and 2 mocks. And this is what our planner looks like. Please have a look at the planner, take a screenshot of it, and I'll be also attaching it in the description box below. You are going to have topics of ethics, money laundering, and small ISAs. You start it from tomorrow and you cover it by 21st December. Okay. And we are going to have a class on 21st December, 8 p.m. Indian time. Okay. Then you are going to study audit planning theory, business risk from 22 December till 4th of January. And we are going to meet on 24th of January. That's a Sunday. Then risk procedures and evidence from 5th of Jan till 11th of Jan. And we are going to meet on 11th January, 8 p.m. Why are we meeting in the live class? See, you will do the concepts from the recording, but you will have some practice in the live class. I am going to take past papers in the live class, plus your doubts, of course. So first I'll ask whatever doubts you will have, whatever you might feel that I want to ask ma'am directly, not on the WhatsApp group. I will be catering to them first and then we will do past papers. Then you have group audit from 12th of Jan till 25th of Jan and 25th of Jan, 8 p.m. we are meeting. Review and reporting and other assignments by 1st February, we are getting done with it. So we are getting done with the syllabus by 1st of Feb. And the whole month of Feb, like we do in SBR also, I'm sure you're aware about the word ultimate planner, where I give you a daily schedule of practice with their videos, the question debriefs. That's going to happen in February. Plus, there will be Super 20 live classes for AAA. So 20 most important questions I'm going to do in the class in the month of February. The dates will be announced, the timing will be announced. It's not yet finalized. I will tell you in the second half of January. But yes, of course, as usual, Super 20 classes will be there. Then there will be mocks and then there will be your grand revision. Okay, so this is how the whole course setup works, right? And if you again would have any doubts, you can WhatsApp to my team or you can put that as a comment in the chat box after the session is uploaded. That's what I wanted to share with you so far from my planned orientation for today. Now I would ask, or I'll be open to take doubts from the students. So whatever you want to ask me, please go ahead in the YouTube chat box. I'll be replying to your queries. So we already have two doubts. Knowledge, all these standards covered in SBR are necessary. Yes, Pookie Poo, it's really important to have all the knowledge from SBR in AAA. We have to do that. Ma'am, I'm thinking to give SBR and AAA. That's a great approach, Himanshu. You should go ahead. As I said, SBR and AAA are so good together. It's an extension. So if you're giving SBR and AAA together, it works. If you have already given SBR in the December attempt, giving AAA next is the best choice. They go together like bread and butter. Okay. Yes. What else you want to ask? Okay. Yeah. So SBR and AAA together are the best. Now, what should be your course of action? See, when you have enrolled, how should you study? You first watch the lecture. You read the notes that I've given to you, a PDF, the chapter that you've done in the lecture. Read it from the notes and then wait for the live class for me to do practice and give you some homework and then attend the assignment that is given and move on. So you do the lecture, read the notes that are being given to you, and then you attend the live class, and then you do the assignment. These are the 4 steps. Okay? This is what we have. Ma'am, are you taking enrollments for June as I will not be appearing in March? Let me explain you. The June session officially begins in the second half of January. So after the results are out for December, that's around 15th of January. That's when June enrollments will begin. However, if you want to start early, what you can do is you can enroll into the March batch and then you have an option to freely extend the course if you inform me by 15th January that I want to extend, because that's the date when June course will be live. So you enroll into March. On 15th January, just tell me. There will be a form which will be out for all the students who are enrolled that you want to extend it to June. So that way you can start early and you can also have access to June. I hope that makes sense, right? So you can start now. And on 15th of January, you can inform the team that please extend my course to June. It will be free of cost, right? So when you will be enrolling into the March batch, there will be a proper section which will tell you about the extension policy. Read it properly before you enroll. Okay. Ma'am, can we complete the syllabus by 15 January and practice up to the end of Jan? We are booked in Feb. How many hours to study for if this is to be achieved? You can complete the syllabus by 15th January. That's a great idea if you want to move ahead of the batch, if you're a full-time student. So in that case, I think you have to cover the lectures. So lectures are for like 100 hours, okay? Apart from this practice lectures, just the conceptual lectures. So you can just divide, like even if you want to get it done within 45 days. So how many hours you're giving every day? So 3-4 hours every day, I think will be sufficient. So you can get it done very easily in 25 days also, if you give 4 hours every day. So you'll get done with the syllabus and then you have to further, you can start with kit question debrief section. So for the batch, it might start in February, but if you want to do it early, which is a great option if you're a full-time student, you can start the kit question debrief section early. And then you can attend the weekend live classes for extra practice. You can attend the Super 20 sessions for extra practice. So you'll move ahead from the batch, right? How should I manage my time for SBR and AAA as I have officers will be enrolling for both AAA and so Himanshu is saying I want to do both SBR and AAA and he's working as well. So that's a very risky choice, Himanshu, that you're working. I don't know what's your time management and do you have hybrid model, being honest? Do you have hybrid model or not? Are you working like full-time physically going to the office? So I would suggest you that for 1 week, start with SBR, okay? You can decide for AAA later on. So our approach is that whatever we are invested into, we pass that. We don't want to get stuck with both the papers and then think that what to do. So just give 2 or 3 days, not even 1 week, 2 or 3 days to SBR. Are you understanding it? Is it easy for you? Then pick up AAA. Then you can combine both of them. Because anyway, to start with AAA will be useless until you are done with something out of SBR. So it's like if there's a video on YouTube where I've explained if you're giving SBR and AAA together. So if you search SBR and AAA together, you'll see my planner for SBR and AAA together. So SBR has to move fast. AAA is going to follow. It's not that you'll start AAA early and SBR later. No. So in your preparation strategy, you have to cover SBR first. So SBR will move ahead. So for example, you've done NCA and you've done the IFRS 9 and 15, then you can do its related audit risk and procedures. You can't start with AAA first and then do SBR. That's not possible. So start with SBR first, okay? Then if you think I can manage AAA within 2-3 days, you can make that decision. And then you can enroll in both. Then you again have time. Take your time till 15th January. Try to cover both of them by 15th January. Give your best shot. You're going to get your Christmas and New Year holidays. Give your best shot there. And if you think on 15th of January that, ma'am, it's getting too hectic, I don't want to give AAA. Because of course you can't give SBR, you can't give AAA without SBR, so you'll have to give SBR only. So I can't give AAA. Let's suppose you make that conclusion, Himanshu. So what you'll do, you'll just call me or inform me on the WhatsApp that, ma'am, please cancel my subscription or extend my subscription for AAA to June. So extension policy is that if you guys enroll right now and you inform me by 15th of January that you don't want to give the exam in March, I will freeze your course for March quarter and I'll put you in the June quarter. Simple. So this will be very easy process. So this is how you can plan, Himanshu. You can start with SBR and AAA. You can see whether are you able to give the time to both of them or not. So many working people, they give their early morning time. They will study while traveling to the job. Like for example, you travel in metros, or if you are traveling and it takes time by cab maybe. So you can just, have your earphones on and you can be listening to the lecture while traveling. So you'll have to do such adjustments because of course it is difficult that to manage studies with full-time work. Okay. Calendly calls. Yes, we are going to start with the Calendly calls again. Is there a separate planner for working students? No, there's no separate planner because the batch works same for everyone. Because I'm giving you a weekly plan. Understand? I'm not giving you a daily plan. So daily you guys can, the working student can have fluctuations that 2 days they were not able to study due to work pressure. But weekly, because you have weekends with you, you can cover that portion. I don't say that every day study 2 hours. You might not be giving daily 2 hours to the study, but you might give more hours on the weekend. So that's your choice, your call. That's why I've given you weekly goals. Okay. What are the lectures under audit plan? Cause and course, we can't see any lecture named under audit planning. Audit planning is the risk area. Let me show you the audit planning area that you are asking. I've shown you my course. This is the course, right? So audit planning area is covered under the section of audit risk. Audit risk 1, audit risk 2, audit risk practice. Okay. Then small theoretical areas, small ISAs. Okay. All of that is part of your planning. And this is the IFRS related evidence and procedures. I hope that makes sense. Right? Okay. So this is what I wanted to cover with you today, and I've taken most of the doubts which were there in the chat box. Okay. And I will be starting with Calendly calls very soon, most probably after Christmas. Okay. So till Christmas, I don't think there would be a need as such, but we'll be starting one-on-one calls and yeah. So that's it, guys, for today. I hope you were helped, and do share this particular video with self-study students as well. And make sure that you're part of the self-help groups. There's only one recent group that has to be active. So make sure you're part of it, okay? The AAA Global group where we are going to have weekly quizzes, okay? And if you're planning to enroll, start early, okay? Don't waste your time. Don't think that I will do it towards the end. Reason is because this time Feb month will be smaller. than the usual months that we have. So let's just not keep it till the end, okay? Don't wait for the results. Don't wait for or waste your time that I will wait for my result and then see whether I'm picking the last paper again or I'm giving AAA again. So if you have made a choice that I am giving AAA, I liked SBR, I've just given SBR, I want to give AAA, get it started. I'm not saying that just enroll with me. If you're thinking about someone else also, get it started ASAP. That would be the best option because our mantra to pass is get done with the syllabus as soon as possible so that you have more time for practice, right? So that's it. Um, for attachment of audit evidence part 3 and part 4, you just put a message on the group. Atma Rani, your TA, will share it spontaneously. Okay, no problem with that. Okay. So that's it, guys. I hope it was a helpful session and see you in the live class on Sunday, the coming Sunday that we have. And if you would have any doubts, keep me posted on the WhatsApp and you can also, okay, you can also have the discussion before enrollment if you want with the team on the WhatsApp. Okay. So that's it. Thank you so much and see you in the live class. God bless you all. Let's start with our new attempt with a positivity, with some blessings. And let's hope we get done with this paper in the first go because that's an achievement in itself. Here we don't aim for ranks or for high scores. Here we aim that we pass in the first go. That's the reality of AAA. So it's a challenge. Let's accept this challenge and give our best shot. So that's it. God bless you all. Thank you again and see you all in the next class.